This is the Halftime Show with Omar Durie on Pulse 95.
Nice strike! Oh, better than nice!
It sure is that time. It's the Halftime Show with Omar Durie. I am your host, covering everything sport, international, local. Hope you're having a blessed day wherever you're tuned in around the world, whether it's 95 FM, pulse95radio.com, or even if you're tuned in on the YouTube Pulse 95 Radio, Instagram live at Omar Durie. We are here, and guys, I can't wait to share with you because today we got a packed show and I need your energy to jump on this as well because Mike Tyson is back. That's right, I'm not making it up, I swear. Mike Tyson is back versus Roy Jones Jr. The date is scheduled, everything is set. September 12th, the big man is back and I am gassed. I can't wait to share that with you. That's coming up on the show. We've also got the current pandemic has basically caused a lot of tension, friction amongst ourselves and even the way we respond to people. We're going to be discussing community today and how a little experience made my whole week. That's coming up. And also, the Premier League is coming to an end. So football fans, I have your back. I will be covering the preview for the final day of the season on Sunday. And after that, we won't be talking about Premier League until September. So listen, you want to tune into this, and I'm also taking all your questions, all your answers, and all the comments, especially coming up of a big week where I got some guests coming into the studio. That's right, you heard it. Guests coming into the studio. You're going to be seeing them here with me, human beings in the studio with me on the only place to be at 3, the Halftime Show on Pulse 95.
Oh, he loves the fire then! What a goal!
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Durie on Pulse 95.
So now welcome back to the Halftime Show with Omar Durie. I'm your host, covering everything sport, international and local. And the reason why I got this theme tune on, I got to tell you now, is because the big man, the man himself, my favorite boxer of all time, is getting back in the ring. Big Mike Tyson is actually making a return. This ain't fake news, this is real news. And shout out to everyone who's tuned in on the Instagram live at Omar Durie and Pulse 95 Radio. Apparently, we're having a few difficulties with the YouTube, so apologies for that. If you are tuned into YouTube and you can't see me, pulse95radio.com on YouTube, and we should be okay. If not, Gabby, what's going on, Gabby? Mario, are you guys there? Anyway, big news is Mike Tyson is back in the ring versus Roy Jones Jr. The date has been confirmed, September 12th. I'm so excited. I saw Mike Tyson hitting the mitts, and it just brought back everything. I'm a huge fan. I was fortunate enough to meet him in the past. I sat down and listened to him speak for about an hour and a half. It was one of the most incredible experiences listening to an athlete, and you wouldn't think that Mike Tyson is so well spoken. He is incredibly well spoken. You know, you picture him and you think of all the things he's been through. But I'll tell you now, Mike Tyson, he's back in the ring against Roy Jones Jr. He's been training hard. Boxing fans, fighting fans, just fans. How do you feel about this? And what are we expecting? You know, normally when someone makes a comeback after retiring, you kind of put the handbrake on. You kind of think, I hope this isn't something that, you know, it's going to throw me off a little bit. I'm in both camps in that sense, but nothing for me will affect his legacy. You know, what he did and what he's achieved, that's incredible. Seeing him come back in the ring and the shape he's in and the way he's still throwing those punches, I mean, I don't know what to expect, but I'll tell you one thing, I'm looking forward to it massively. And his movie will be released with Jamie Foxx starring in that role, and I couldn't have thought of anyone better to star in that role than Jamie Foxx. It's going to be incredible, and it's expected to be released, they said, late 2021, so I'm thinking around August time is the estimated date that I've heard people speak about. But what do you guys think? 4215 Itasalat or do? Are you really looking forward to seeing this guy come back in? I'm a huge fan, you know, and I got a chance to meet him and listen to his stories, and wow, what a guy. What a guy. Okay, coming up next, with the current pandemic wave, the world has been affected. A question I got asked on Instagram was, in the current state we are in economically, how do we improve our current surroundings? So stay tuned for more on the only place to be at 3, the Halftime Show on Pulse 95.
Oh, he loves the fire then! What a goal!
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Durie on Pulse 95.
Salam and welcome back to the Halftime Show with Omar Durie. I'm your host, covering everything sport, international, local. What an amazing room we got here today with everyone, not in my room, I wish they were here in the studio, but on the Instagram live at Omar Durie. Shout out to Mario, Spicy, Murad, Ziad, Kaydan. You've got Maria, obviously Fatima Al-Duri, not on Instagram live, but always tuned in. The Life of Tariq, Marvish. Who else we got? We got Wafa. We got Flo all the way from New York. We got Fahad as well. So thank you so much for everyone who's tuned in live. Now, guys, you picked the right time to come in. Congrats on getting to the FA Cup final. Thank you very much, Ziad. Appreciate the love, man. And of course, my boy Mufid is in the building. Now, guys, with the current pandemic situation, the world's kind of been affected and actually resetting their environment and what's going on. A question I got asked the other day on Instagram was, in the current state we are in economically, how do we improve our current surroundings? Now, what's interesting about this topic is I always try and relate it to obviously health, well-being and fitness and how it can make a difference. Now, Jay Shetty did ask a question once. When it came down to physically feeling better, we go to the gym. But when it comes down to mentally feeling better, where do we go? And that's a question I have for you guys. Maybe you can shed some light on the group. Is it sports? Is it well-being? Is it family? Is it fitness? Is it music? Is it sound? It could be anything. I want to hear from you guys what's going on, because to be honest, we all have different answers. And again, what's interesting about tackling this topic is that I don't have all the answers, and I work on it every single day. And I think that's something that maybe sometimes we kind of think that we have to get to the end product straight away. And in order to do that, I've obviously got to work on myself and to be a positive reflection on those around me, starting with the foundation I build at home with Mama Al-Duri, obviously, and Maria. Now, here's the truth about even health professionals. Health professionals are being challenged every single day with their own mental health. We definitely don't possess superpowers and experience like everyone else. We go through the same things. I'll tell you what makes a difference though. Simple gestures. Simple things can make someone's day. I want you to try this out actually. And Flo from New York says mind, body and soul. 100% Florin. I agree with you. You know, last week on my way to Pulse 95, my tire punctured really badly. I'm very fortunate enough not to get into an accident. I just made it to the studio on time for my show. That was the only thing that was going through my mind. Now, with that, I feel like there's people that tune into the show, not that many, but a few, from all around the world. And with that, I feel a sense of responsibility. Now, when I was getting down to Sharjah, that's what was going through my mind. You got Spicy, you got Murad, you got obviously Fatima, you got all these people that are always tuning into the show, thankfully, alhamdulillah. Every Friday since lockdown, I've been training at the gym. And shout out to Waza and RBO. Now, one of the members, actually, really quiet sister, who tunes into the show, noticed this week that I wasn't there. So she sent me a message on Instagram asking me, how come I didn't come to class? I'll tell you one thing. Something so simple made my day because it made me feel like someone actually cares. And you might find that funny, but I swear, honestly, the fact someone noticed I wasn't there when I'm always there every single Friday. Marvish, shout out to Marvish, who sent me that message on Instagram. Doesn't really know me that well, and very, very kind sister. One thing I will say, guys, practice being mindful and being aware of so many people, irrespective of what field you're in or what country you're in, or even what you're going through. Even when someone good has an off day, you might catch them on that time. And if you do, don't hold it against them, because we all have that. And energy is key. And I always say that. I always say that to my wife. I say that to my mum. I say our energy is key. We have a responsibility to kind of lift the energy and the spirits up when we speak to people, when we talk to people. Being grateful for something so simple can really put things in perspective. So for you, Marvish, thank you very much for your kind message on Instagram, just to check how I'm doing, what I'm doing. Why am I not training? Because normally every Friday morning, that is my time to train, away from the family, away from everything, away from work. That's my time. And so, I'm very grateful for that. The community that I have, the Reset community, past and present, has been something my wife and I have built for years. And having people around who actually care about your well-being, not just your service, is something that we're truly, truly grateful for, and actually motivates us to do more. from the youngest person in our reset group, okay, who is 12, shout out to Almaz, to the oldest person, the most mature person in that room. I won't mention her name just because I don't want to be baiting her out on her age. But we appreciate you guys. And the bottom line I'm saying here is, I think sometimes to give without expecting anything back, you'd be surprised how good that feels. And when something does come back, there's no obligation to do so, but it does make you feel so much better. And I think that's something that I learned from this week. For those that don't know, obviously a while back, 3-4 years ago, I was on my way to work and I had a huge life-threatening car accident. Alhamdulillah, I'm here today with you guys, so it's a blessing. However, just on my way to work this week when the tire punctured and everything like that, it kind of put things in perspective. But I was only thinking about coming on the show because I felt a sense of responsibility and a sense of giving. And that's why, you know, it doesn't have to be material. It could be something very minimalistic, but perspective plays such an integral role in how we perceive things. And I have to give a special shout out to everyone who's tuned in on the Instagram live. If the YouTube is working, and I know Mario's probably on it and Gabriel probably on it at the moment now, you know, the simple things really put things in perspective. We're all going through things. We're all facing challenges economically and in our environment. So please, guys, be mindful, be grateful, stay blessed. And I'm going to actually play a track from you, from someone that Tariq gave me his details. The Real SQ, Salaam Alaikum, is coming up, and I'll be back right after this. Enjoy.
Oh, he loves the fire then. What a goal!
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Durie on Pulse 95.
It sure is that time. It's the Halftime Show, and I am buzzing. What a show we've had in store today. We've had Mike Tyson is back in boxing, and he will be fighting September 12th. We've spoken about the community and the feeling that sometimes the most simplest things can go a long way. So thank you very much for everyone who is tuned in on the Instagram live at Omar Durie and on YouTube, Pulse 95 Radio. Be nothing without you guys. And I'll tell you something. This weekend is the last weekend for the Premier League. Yeah, I feel it. I really feel it. And the curtain is truly coming down on a reflection of what's been an extraordinary season, where we've had a stoppage, we've had high flyers, we've had isolation, we've had lockdown, we've come back with no fans, we have had VAR take over, we've had new rules, new laws. I don't think anyone will ever forget the 1920 season. Now, what's at stake this weekend? Champions League spots. That's the first one we're going to be talking about. Spicy, I know you're going to enjoy this. Man United, Chelsea and Leicester battle it out. The game of the weekend, surely in Game of Zones, has to be Man United versus Leicester. Unbelievable, Jeff. That's right. And what's going to happen this weekend? It's going to go down because United go in as favourites, having one of the best starts since Project Restart and the lockdown resumed. Chelsea meet Wolves in a game they have to get a result to qualify for the Champions League. Chelsea's goal difference isn't great, with a deficit of 15 goals between them and United. A week later, they have the FA Cup final against Arsenal. Come on, Arsenal. God, do something this year. Leicester have to win regardless. United can lose as long as Chelsea don't win. Chelsea require a win or a draw. Do you get it? Trying to make it simple for you guys. Listen, at least we have something to watch and play for. Some people are on the beach already. Some people have gone on holiday already. You know, we still have something to watch here. So the Premier League is on tomorrow. All the games will be kicking off at the same time. Then we look at the relegation. The relegation sees Villa versus Watford, which is going to be huge. Villa versus Watford. Not Villa versus Watford. The relegation sees Villa, Watford and Bournemouth battle it out. It's Villa West Ham. Arsenal going to play Watford. And this is something which also adds a bit of spice to it. Yes, spicy. I said it. Spice to it. Watford and Bournemouth are equal on goal difference, -25, with Villa 1 goal better. Watford meet Arsenal, Bournemouth meet Everton, and West Ham meet Villa. Here's something though for the Tottenham fans. Isa, I hope you're watching. If Tottenham finish 7th and Arsenal beat Chelsea, then Arsenal take the final Europa League spot and Chelsea are already in Europe, so that means Tottenham miss out. That's right, Isa, I said it. Tottenham miss out. Who's going to be the top goal scorer? 4215, Ittasalat Odu. Who is going to win the awards for this year? It's been a long year. We've got Vardy, you've got Aubameyang, you've got Ings. You got some interesting, you got maybe even Sterling, you never know. But one thing I will say, probably the best midfield on the planet, Kevin De Bruyne, is 2 assists away from breaking the record of all-time assists in the Premier League. Mesut Ozil has got 19 before, and Henry has got 20. De Bruyne has one more game to try and get 2 assists to do so. If he does so, that legacy, I'll tell you now, is huge. And he does deserve it as well, Kevin De Bruyne. He gets on with it, quality passer. I love players like that. I'll just get down and just do it. Golden Gloves, right. Nick Pope from Burnley is on 15. Edison's on 15 for Manchester City, although they do play Norwich. But I really hope Pope gets it. I really, really hope that a Burnley goalkeeper gets it. That's going to make me feel better. That's going to be one thing. One thing that has been announced, though, I will say, is Footballers Writers Footballer of the Year. Now, if you did tune into the halftime show a year ago, I did say that Liverpool would win the league. Yeah, I'm quite proud of that. I did say that because Liverpool hadn't won the league in 30 years. But I did actually throw another curveball out there, and I said that Man City would win the Champions League. Now, that is going to be tough. But I will say one thing. Jordan Henderson, and we mentioned him on the show probably about a month ago. He's won Football Writers Player of the Year, and that it's not just hard work that gets him this award. You've got to give praise to someone that gets his head down and works so hard. And Henderson to win Footballer Writers Player of the Year is huge. Yes, people might argue that, Mane could have got it, or Virgil van Dijk could have got it, or Kevin De Bruyne should have got it. But you know what? Let him enjoy his moment. He really deserves it. Player of the Year is another thing, and that's Mane, Virgil. One thing I want to ask, why isn't Trent Alexander-Arnold mentioned in any of these awards? I'm very surprised by that. Rarely do you ever find the most influential or creative player on the planet come from the right back position. So he's got to get a bit of credit. I will say this though, folks. Football is not that, it's not going to die. I'll tell you why. Because we've got the Premier League that closes tomorrow. And then you have the FA Cup final on the 1st. Come on, Arsenal, please. Please do this. Please do the thing. I beg you, do the thing. Then you got the Europa Cup final 21st of August. You've got the Champions League final on the 23rd of August. The Charity Shield will be on the 30th. The UEFA Nations League on September 3rd. And then the Premier League starts again September 12th. So it won't be that far away, guys. Don't worry. It won't be that far away. I'm taking all your questions, your answers, and your comments for the show right after this. I want to play some T-Pain. Let's enjoy this together. Here we go.
Oh, he loves the fire then. What a goal!
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Durie on Pulse 95.
It sure is that time. It's the Halftime Show with Omar Durie. I'm your host, covering everything sport, international, local. Shout out to everyone who's tuned in all around the world. New York in the building, Florida in the building, UK in the building, and of course, the UAE and Saudi are in the building as well. So thank you so much for tuning in onto the Halftime Show. Remember, guys, we are on every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And if you do miss the show, where you been, man? Why have you missed the show? And you can always catch us on the podcast, Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Anghami. Or if you prefer a visual, you can go to the YouTube Pulse 95 Radio, and we are there, all our shows. Thanks to Gabby and Mario who put that together. And I got to give a shout out to Gabby. We went to go celebrate his big day, his wedding day the other day, and I'm kind of gutted because after I left, they had a little bit of a keepy-uppy with the balloons. And all of a sudden, Christina dropped a message saying, she sent me a video, and it had, Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, and Mbappe all doing kick-ups. Guys, well gone, guys. Why did you do that after I left? You save all the fun till I go. But no, on a real though, shout out to Gabby. Amazing guy. He's starting his new journey with his wonderful wife, and I hope they have an incredible day. Right, let's get into the questions and answers that we have today. Who's going to win the Europa League? Very, very good question. I think United must be the favourites, but I would love to see Wolves get credited for something. I mean, United look like they're all set to finish off in the Champions League spot, so I'll give them that. That'll be something I'll probably say they've done. However, I would like to see Wolves win it, that's for sure. Right, predictions. I'm going to have to pull out that episode. The predictions that I had for this year were true in the sense that Liverpool won the Premier League, which I think a lot of people laughed at me in the beginning. Obviously, they won it quite early. And if by any miraculous way City don't beat Norwich, then that will be the biggest points difference between first and second ever in the history. It's a bit of a a low chance, but it's true. It's true. We got to give them that kind of credit. So that's something. Shout out to Sebi. Wowzers. A great teacher. He's in the Instagram live as well. What's coming up this week? Right. Let's tell you. This week, now obviously, due to the restrictions and the regulations that we're following by, we haven't been able to get any guests in the studio. Everything's been done online through Zoom, etc. We are going to be getting guests back in the studio from next week, and oh my god, it makes such a big difference. I love my guests, don't get me wrong. I like to talk to people. That's why I've got the Instagram live up and everything. I like to talk to people normally. I'm going to have the UAE national team footballer, female, Arij Al-Hamadi, is going to be in the building, and she's going to be here in the studio. So if you have any questions for her, she's got a remarkable journey in the sense of what she's had to face and what she's had to battle. And also, she's got a very good football IQ as well. So you might want to have some questions ready for her. I've also got Ross Gilmore, who is a health and fitness professional who specializes in nutrition and transformation changes through physical and mental well-being. So that's going to be good. That's going to be on Wednesday as well. It's coming up now. It's really nice to be able to have people back in the studio. Here's a question coming in from Murad. Why do you think Iron Mike turned down 20 million to take part in bare knuckle fights? Because he's got brains, Murad. Because that bare knuckle fighting, for those that don't know, is when you step into a cage or into a ring and there's no protection and it's just bare knuckles. And I've seen Artem Lobov and Paulie Malignaggi. Sometimes health comes first. You might say that, but he is fighting on September 12th, and he's going to fight against Roy Jones Jr., and it's something that is his stage. How many times have we seen the crossover from these athletes and not been able to actually, obviously it's tough times, but I definitely don't want to, I don't want to say that, that is worth your life. So definitely not, but I am looking forward to it, because I've watched, if you haven't seen the clips of Iron Mike actually hitting the mitts, oh wow, I think he's over 50 at the moment. He's hitting the mitts incredible. So I hope he finishes Roy Jones Jr. And no offense to Roy Jones Jr. fans, but Mike Tyson's my favorite all-time boxer. I'm very, very lucky to have met him and listened to his story. He was unbelievable. So I hope he finished it in the first round. I don't want to see the tank empty out, and I think Iron Mike is the man for it. So that's going to be awesome. I can't wait. September 12th. And also his movie's coming out, and from what I've seen and I've heard, it's going to be amazing. Jamie Foxx will be acting as him. Right, guys, we are reaching full time on the Halftime Show. Time flies when you're having fun, guys. Shout out to Najlan Out and About. And remember, you can catch us every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, 3 to 4 UAE time, or even on the YouTube the day after. Their Dine is coming up. I hope you've had a blessed day. I hope you've enjoyed the show as well. And I will be seeing you on Monday with Arij Al-Hamadi. Salam and peace.
The heart of Sharjah. The heart of Sharjah. Pulse 95.